Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to flip one of the West's most foundational myths right on its head. So forget everything you know about the tragic fall of a man who sells his soul for power. We're exploring a story of cosmic ascent, a journey not of damnation, but of, well, divine transformation.
All right, let's break this down. On the one hand, you've got the classic Faustian fall, the ultimate cautionary tale against ambition. But on the right, that's where we're headed, the Enochian Ascent. This isn't just a sequel, it's a whole new operating system, really, inspired by the ancient Book of Enoch and Goethe's Faust Part 2. It completely reframes the story of damnation into an epic of striving ever upward.
So, our story picks up right where the old one would have ended. After leaving the corruption of the marketplace, our protagonist, the new man, doesn't crash and burn. Nope, he goes up. He pierces what the source calls the vertical horizon, that boundary between the earthly and the divine, and just rockets straight into the cosmos. But what's waiting for him out there in the void? You might expect the demon Mephistopheles, right? Ready to collect on his deal? But no, instead he's intercepted by a power that is, well, far, far greater. A divine hierarchy, a kind of council of cosmic gatekeepers. And this is the Council of Watchers. Now get this, they're not there to punish him. They're actually intrigued. You see, this new man is the first human to ever bring the Gnostic engine, think of it as the ultimate machine of human will and tech, into the heavens without being completely consumed by it. He hasn't been enslaved by his creation, he's mastered it, proving that humanity can wield incredible power without forfeiting its soul. And this is what sets up the central test of the entire journey. Archangel Gabriel steps forward, not as a judge, but as a guide, and he poses the ultimate question. Can this new fusion of man and machine, this unbelievable acceleration of will, actually hold up against the immense gravity of truth? So the journey now becomes a gauntlet. He's going to face a series of 3 distinct tests across 3 different heavenly spheres, and each one is designed to push his philosophy and his very will to its absolute breaking point. Okay, test number 1, in the first heaven, is all about looking back. Archangel Gabriel forces the new man to confront the very world he just escaped, what's called the Bazaar of the Sleepers. He sees the people he left behind not as individuals, but as, well, gears in a giant, grinding machine of apathy. They're all building what the source calls a global cage of contentment. And Gabriel's temptation is so simple and so powerful: safety. He asks, is this predictable, orderly world not desirable? Isn't this better? But the new man's rejection is absolute. He calls it a living death, a garden of static time where nothing blooms but rot. By choosing this relentless striving over the comfortable, sleepy existence of the last man, that passive, unambitious human, he passes his first test with flying colors. Now, the temptations, they only get more sophisticated from here. Up in the 4th heaven, the new man faces a realm of absolute crystalline perfection. This is the silence of God, a place where there is no friction, no challenge, and absolutely no struggle. So here, Gabriel offers him paradise. Literally, an end to the burden of always striving. He can just lay down his Faustian spirit, that relentless inner drive, and simply be, in a state of eternal peace. I mean, what could possibly be more tempting than the end of all struggle? But the new man, and this is brilliant, he draws on Fichtean philosophy, and he sees this paradise not as a heaven, but as a coffin. He basically argues that to exist without an obstacle, without something to push against, is to cease to exist at all. His goal isn't a final state of being, it's the perpetual act of becoming. He declares, I seek infinite function, not the infinite state. And that brings us to the final, ultimate test. We're at Erebos now, this 7th sphere, the very seat of the absolute will. And let me tell you, there's no gentle paradise here. There is only a crushing density of pure creation, an infinite raw source of energy and opposition. So this final trial, it's not a temptation of comfort, it's a direct challenge. Power against power, will against the ultimate obstacle, the creative fire that sits at the very heart of the universe.
So the final choice is laid out for him. Gabriel's challenge is simple: kneel.
Acknowledge how small you are before a blaze of pure creation that would literally vaporize a lesser being. The alternative? To stand and meet that fire as an equal force.
And he refuses to submit. Instead, he stands in resonance. He engages the final gear of his Gnostic engine, and he matches the frequency of creation itself, shouting, "I do not kneel to the fire, I burn with it."
In that one moment, he achieves a totally new synthesis. He offers his machine, the Gnostic engine, not as a weapon, but as a gift. He declares that humanity is no longer a passive sleeper in creation's dream, but a co-creator whose entire purpose is to validate existence by striving against it. With all of the trials complete, the Council of Watchers delivers its final, absolutely stunning verdict on this new kind of human, this incredible fusion of flesh, will, and technology. The new man has proven something profound here. The Excelsior way, that path of constantly striving ever upward, it's not a sin. It's actually the highest form of worship. It's an imitation of God's own ceaseless creative fire. And so, the archangels deliver their verdict. A being that is defined by infinite function and eternal struggle, well, he's just not fit for the peaceful, static rest that's reserved for the saints.
His reward isn't a place of arrival. He hasn't reached heaven. His heaven is the journey itself. It's not a garden, not a destination, but a perpetual upward trajectory.
And so this adventure ends, not with a conclusion, but with a commencement. A new cosmic purpose is revealed, a war for the cosmos, a struggle to literally shape the future of existence. And for the very first time on his journey, as he flies into the infinite, he's no longer alone. And this leaves us with a final, really provocative question. This new man has become a co-creator. So what happens when humanity is no longer just a creature of creation, but a partner in it? What new cosmos will we build?